Good morning. We are at the Blue Horse Trail, Blue Lake Trailhead. This is the one that we had to turn around on. When was that? Early this spring? There was too much snow.
Yeah.
So I won't do a whole lot of recording the first part of the trip because you've already seen that, but I'll pretty much record from then on. It's supposed to be a warm day today. So it's about 8 o'clock and it's chilly up here right now. It's in the 40s. But fall is definitely here. And we're off. A cool mushroom popping up from... Well, this is the spot where we first hit snow on our last hike in here. Well, I guess we have a little bit of excitement out in the wash. There was a helicopter kind of circling above us, and now it's kind of up where we get onto our trails, so I don't know if they're rescuing somebody or what's going on. But we're gonna head up here a little further, see if we can make it to our trailhead. So it's taking off now. Not sure where it's going or what it's doing, but wow. It was only there probably a couple of minutes.
Yeah, headed right toward the mountain.
Okay, well, hopefully the mountain's not blowing up on us. Well, we made it out to the middle of the wash. Out here somewhere was where the helicopter was landed at. Didn't stay long. And the mountain, we think that's just dust up there at the top. Might be a little steam, but it does that. Probably dust though, because it's a little bit windy up here. And recently they've had some dust storms, the ash blowing off of that side. At least that's what we hope it is. Well, we're headed up the hill, just about to the spot where we had to stop due to the heavy snow this spring. And to our surprise, Forest Service, or the backcountry horsemen, came up here and removed this big log that we had to go around the last few years. So we've got our trail back. Awesome, awesome. We were having to go up around over there and bypass, but now it's all down there. Yes, definitely a lot less snow. This was our turnaround point where there was about 5 feet of snow here. And here's what we call the little Harry Potter Hobbit Trail. This just leads out onto the wash, but it has a really good view of the mountain out here. The reason I call it the Harry Potter Trail is it looks like in the Goblet of Fire, like these trees are going to close in on me, or Voldemort's going to pop out here in a minute. And here is our view. It's one of our favorite little areas to walk through back here. Lots of huckleberry bushes and lupin are blooming in the spring. It's real pretty and just quiet. Nice and cool back here. Tiny little bit of lupin left back here. Just some huge noble fir, and those noble fir and spruce trees up there are just noble fir. I don't know, but they're huge. In the springtime, or early summer, this is also my favorite wild strawberry patch up here. This is our huckleberry elk field that we've jumped herds of elk in before. Never during hunting season, of course. Well, we have made it to the junction with the Toutle Trail. Just starting to get back in the really big old growth trees. These old growth or second growth? Probably second growth. Yeah. Because I think most of this got logged at one time, but there is some pretty nice sized trees back here. This is actually a nice sunny day hike because you can get through the hot pine trees and the hot open wash early in the morning, and then you end up over on this side that's pretty much all shaded and cool in the afternoon. Here I go taking videos of snags again. Lots of deer clover in here too. You can tell everything's kind of dying down for the year. Down there is where we're headed. See, our bridge is kind of collapsed a little in the middle, but it's not a super big creek, so not too worried. And that's kind of the little primitive campground that we're going to. As we come up here, you can see off in the distance, that is the edge of where all the blowdown happened. It's getting harder and harder to see, but it's kind of, there it is, over on that hill you see in the distance, and I will pan in a little, but that's where the last of the blowdown from the giant blast from the mountain up there on those two empty patches. That's where it blew the logs off. And the rest over here was, a lot of that hill got a little bit of it, but the rest of it over here was not in the blast zone. You used to be able to drive clear out here until the road got washed out, and there was a trail off over here. We've actually been on it before, but it's pretty sketchy. You can hear the waterfall down there. Here's our creek crossing. The bridge has deteriorated a little bit the last couple of years. This looks like fun. It's not a very big creek though. Okay, I am going to put this away while I go across. Got our spot for the afternoon. Sit and have some lunch, relax. Might go dip my feet in the creek. You just never know. That's where we came from, way up there. Beautiful day. Doesn't get much better than this, does it?
Not too much.
Got the jet boil going. Getting some hot water for coffee and tea. And lunch is going to be a home-style chicken noodle casserole.
This hike's sponsored by Mountain House.
Wouldn't that be nice? Pay for our gas money at least. Just saying, this would be just a really cool spot to camp in, except I do know it gets very cold down here. We've been down here a few times when it's been really hot, and you get down here and it's like, brr. But it would be really nice to, when it was hot out, to camp
Midsummer.
down here. Yeah, midsummer, it would be a nice spot.
End of summer.
Just hear that waterfall, and of course now all we hear is the jet boil. For those of you who don't know, all 30 of our subscribers, 29 of you may know, Bruce retired in August, so we're going to be doing more hiking and adventures and getting out.
She hasn't killed me yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
Came close a couple times.
There's still time.
Got nothing but time now.
But I'm going to still keep working part-time a little bit. So now we can just sit around like this in the middle of the week and like do nothing. Just hang out in the middle of the woods.
Retirement's kind of tough, got to admit.
He's keeping pretty busy though. Keeping pretty busy.
Time management kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
I feel like I still have to get everything done in 4 days that I used to have off. Now I got 8 days off.
But if the weather cooperates, we are planning on taking a trip down the Oregon coast sometime soon. And we'll probably hit a trail or two. Have to figure out some trails down there.
The Oregon Coast Trail goes all along it.
It does. But a lot of that's on the road, and I don't want to be out walking on the road. But I'm sure we can find some other cool places to go. Anyway, we're just going to hang out here for a little bit more, and then we're going to walk on up over the bridge across the creek. There's another bridge that heads over to where the Toutle Trail keeps going.
It's above the falls.
Okay.
I don't know, they call that Sheep Canyon Falls, Sheep Falls.
We have made it down to the Toutle Trail here, and this is the falls. We'll get a better view of it. Hopefully there's a little lookout a little further over there. There's the creek. There's actually a couple of creeks that come together up there that make this. And we're not going to continue on, but if we were, we could take the Toutle Trail up to the Louette here and just go up that hill. So we're 1 1/3 mile from there, which we've been up there before. It goes up this hill and then down into kind of a big deep canyon. Boy, it's really grown up a lot here, hasn't it? All these alders.
Yeah, you can barely see the creek.
So wasn't that the trail we went on that one time, the side of that cliff? I feel like it was, yeah. That was not very fun.
That was the original Sheep Canyon Trail.
Yep, yep. Hopefully you can see in this video, but down on that snag ahead of me, you see that kind of orangish stuff down at the bottom. It's really old, but it's a gigantic patch of chicken of the woods fungus or mushrooms. People do eat them, but usually the younger ones, not the older. But that's just a huge, thick patch on there. Pretty cool. There's some old chicken of the woods mushroom fungus things on the tree, but these are old, way beyond eating. Big log. Love meadows. See the noble firs have those big giant green pine cones. They're kind of reddish pink inside. And the squirrels will get up there and drop them down so they'll break and they can get to the seeds inside, which will scare the bejesus out of you. And yeah, you can see Mount St. Helens just barely through the trees, that rock kind of in the middle of the picture there. Can't see a lot anymore. It was probably just ash blowing this morning. The winds died down quite a bit. So I don't see any steam coming up. I wouldn't mind camping out here one of these days, except for the fact that I know elk walk through here. I don't want to get trampled on. Now we're back into the forest. Leave the meadow behind us. Pretty cool meadow. And this part has been logged. You can tell the big old gigantic stumps, the huckleberries growing on top, blueberries. This is just an awesome part of the forest. Got a big snag here with a bunch of chicken of the woods on it. I'm gonna get a picture of the backside. There's a big shelf of it back here. If I can get to it. Pretty cool looking. Again, too old to eat, too big. But still cool to see. It's really pretty from up here. It's starting to get really marshy back here. Used to flow through just in one thing, and now it's kind of going all different ways. Okay, we are down to our creek crossing. Want me to go down there?
I would go down the wall.
Okay, I'm going to turn this off then.
Okay.
Oh, so we've almost made it back to our trailhead. Blue Lake's over there by those trees. Back up by Mount St. Helens. And when we were out on the Hobbit Trail, we seen a couple of guys out there in orange vest. I don't know if they were Forest Service workers up on the side of the mountain or if they were hunters, because there are mountain goats up there that you can draw a permit to hunt. And we did see a couple of mountain goats. Anyway, Bruce just dipped my cooling rag in the stream so I can make it through this hot, dusty spot here and back to the truck.